Let me get us all lived up and all that good stuff. People, as you guys know, my goal is to always teach you financial literacy. Shouts out to all of you who are going to be watching this live, learning and letting your mind maneuver into the world of wealth. As you guys know, my goal is always to teach you how to create wealth while living. As you guys see today in the markets, we have a whole different world going on right now, especially in the crypto market. Now, the stock market itself has been a journey, but tonight we're going to focus a little bit more on the crypto market. We're going to talk about the economy as a whole. We're going to talk about these jobs because, as you guys see, a lot of companies are laying individuals off. We're going to really get down and dirty and try to really understand what is going on. All these videos that Bobby have done in the last 5 to 6 years, for years I've been talking about a recession is coming, and I told you guys it's very near. One thing that can't be denied in the world of wealth is that when you're growing in the economy, you got to understand, economics will never lie to you. And the moment we've seen inflation rising, interest rates rising, okay, the dollar is becoming too powerful. People, when you look at economics as a whole, this was bound to happen. And we're not even at the beginning of this if you really think about it. At a certain point, the market, when we talk about the stock market, the real estate market, the crypto market has a lot more to go. I hope a lot of you are buckling your seatbelts, making sure you save some money, making sure you're not trying to average down every single week in regards to stocks, in regards to crypto. Understand it's better you be patient, let the market fully tank. And when I say market, I'm talking real estate, I'm talking stocks, I'm talking crypto, because nobody knows where's the bottom. So for a lot of you that have certain stocks already and you're trying to average down, I don't recommend averaging down too much. Hypothetically, if a stock was at, I don't know, $200 a share, and now it's at, let's say, for example, I don't know, $45 a share. I think you should at least, what I'm doing, I'm averaging down at maybe 85% drops or higher. Now, that's how I deal with stocks. In regards to crypto is a whole different world. As you guys know, cryptocurrency is electronic currency you can't feel or touch. And there has been a lot of hype behind it. It's going to change the economy in a lot of different ways. But at this point, it's not a full means of exchange, meaning you can't go to Walmart and say, I'm going to use Bitcoin. You can't go to certain stores and say, I'm going to use Bitcoin. Bitcoin has not been that means of exchange, and that's where they're trying to bring it to. But there's a lot of regulation that's going to come in the middle to really get the market where it needs to be. Tonight, we're going to really talk about the crypto market. We're going to talk about jobs. Why are so many companies laying off employees, firing employees, whatever term you want to use to make yourself feel better? How do we prepare ourselves for what's about to happen, which is already kind of happening, which is about to get worse? Tomorrow is a very important day for a lot of you. If you don't follow economics, tomorrow is a CPI report. A CPI report comes out tomorrow around 8:30 in the morning, and it's a consumer price index. All it is just pretty much giving you an economic comparison of what things was costing last year compared to what they're costing this year, or what things cost a couple months ago compared to what they're costing now. And that's a great indication on how the economy is doing as a whole in regards to inflation and price of domestic products that we consume, that we buy, whatever the case may be. Because you guys will see there's a correlation with inflation and CPI reports. Tomorrow, if the CPI report is a bad report, after 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, there will be a drastic drop. Again, probably in the stock market. And on top of that, you guys know it's the election time, midterm elections. So there's a lot of other reasons why there's a lot of movement going on in the markets, because you guys got to understand election affects a lot of different markets, such as real estate, stocks, crypto. Because, again, if it's a Democrat, there's certain type of regulations they're going to have with crypto and stocks, especially crypto. If it's a Republican, there might be less or more regulation based on the Republican side winning. So it's a lot of different dynamics you have to really understand looking at the different markets, especially crypto, which is what we're focused on tonight. One of the things I told you guys years ago, and when Bitcoin's at $68,000, maybe 2 years ago, I told you guys, look, I get it. I don't have Bitcoin. I have a couple other coins. And I also told you guys, buy coins that's a little bit more stable. Now, we all know, again, this is a very new world. This is a very new market when it comes to cryptocurrency. So understand, it will take time for it to be stable because it needs to have full utilization. It needs to have full use. It needs to get to a point where the regulation feels comfortable with the people who are regulating it. At this point, it's still not regulated where it would need to be, of course, considered a real currency or a real commodity or a real means of exchange. So at this point, there's a lot of volatility in the market. Just to catch you guys up, a couple of weeks ago, a company bought Voyager app. Okay, now that shook the market because when people seen that certain apps couldn't, of course, liquidate certain funds for clients who needed their money, that became a problem. Now, why is this particular company that's having liquidity issues again? This is a whole different company. And if I'm correct, I got to check back. I think the same company I'm about to talk about is who ended up buying Voyager, knowing it has liquidity problems and many other problems. So a lot of you may not have heard this company before. Some of you that are in the crypto world, you have heard this company. The company is called FTX. FTX is, by theory, one of the top 10 companies to buy cryptocurrency on. And of course, they let you do certain things that other platforms don't let you do, such as short crypto and many other derivatives. Now, it's kind of funny because behind FTX, you have a lot of celebrities as brand ambassadors. Some of them are even invested into the company, such as Steph Curry, such as Shaquille O'Neal, I think Tom Brady. Many big athletes have invested dollars in this company. Also, big banks such as Bank of America, BlackRock, which is a big hedge fund. Also, one of the biggest banks in the world, SoftBank, which is one of the biggest banks in the world itself. No bank is probably bigger than SoftBank. SoftBank is probably invested into any stock that you could possibly think about. So you could imagine. And these companies are about to lose, or they probably already did, lose billions of dollars because FTX is having liquidity problems and many other problems. To give you guys a backstory on FTX, okay? Binance was one of the first investors into FTX. And when you look at Binance, so in theory, Binance is actually a stronger company. Now, recently, Binance stated they were going to acquire FTX, which is the same company that they invested into and eventually sold themselves out of the company. Now, here's what's funny. When they removed themselves from the company, they created another token called FTT, which is actually a way for them to, of course, get compensated for the dollars they invested as they removed themselves from the investment of actually being invested into FTX. Now, I want you guys to really understand, FTX was just branded on many different stations a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, as one of the best brokerage companies in the world. Now, for a long time, and I kept saying this, like, look, I get it, but for me, I'm sorry, I'm going to stick with Coinbase. And I'm going to stick with Coinbase because of a lot of reasons. Because Coinbase is one of the most strongest, reputable companies. Now, Coinbase also do have their negative components that they like to not really disclose on their platform, but user-friendly. You don't really have so many liquidity issues because they're pretty stable when it comes to liquidity. There is delay times when it's time to get paid large amounts. But at the end of the day, Coinbase do have a strong financial balance sheet. Now, another part I liked about Coinbase too, not just the fact that their platform is simplistic. I also like the fact that they're working in a weird way with the government. And when I seen that, you got to understand from years ago, I seen Coinbase working with the government. The reason they're trying to do that, you got to understand, one component to stay clean in their eyes, because again, this thing is not fully regulated the way it needs to. And two, if they ever run into liquidity problems, who do you think the government is going to give money to first? Coinbase. Now, BlackRock is a hedge fund that's very huge in assets, AUM, assets under management. Now, understand, BlackRock is also invested into Coinbase. So how I look at it, and I stated this a couple months ago, when Bitcoin finally drops to maybe $5,000, $4,000, or $3,000, which Bitcoin does this all the time, people really pay attention. Every 4 to 5 years, Bitcoin comes up with people come up with some type of hype up cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency goes up to the roof, especially crypto such as Bitcoin. Last time it went to maybe 24,000. Then 2 years ago went to what? 68,000, or last year, whatever the case may be. Now, today, after another liquidity issue in the world of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin drops from the $21,000, $22,000 threshold it was supporting at, to now today it dropped to really $15,400. Really pay attention. In a 2-day time frame, Bitcoin dropped almost $6,000 to $7,000 in a 1 to 2 day time frame, based on one of the biggest buy theory companies not having enough liquidity to, of course, sustain their platform. Who does not have that problem? Coinbase. Who is not really associated with FTX? Coinbase. Who was about to pretty much buy FTX was Binance to save them, but they ended up last minute, I forgot what time today, put on a tweet or some type of memorandum platform that says, we are not going to move forward because it's actually more issues than we thought. So obviously I could only assume FTX has not only liquidity problems, but there's other issues, because a lot of wealthy people have lost billions of dollars because of FTX, because of what just happened. Their token, FTX, went from 44 to literally $2.90 in 1 or 2 days. In the last 2 days, their crypto has dropped, their token, has dropped 98.5% in a 2-day time frame. Now, while they're dropping, people, because of liquidity issues, why would some of you have your money there? Let's even go further. When you look at Solana, which was another token that a lot of people, or crypto that a lot of people was talking about, a couple months ago, Solana was at $244. We look back 6 months ago, Solana was at maybe, $50, or $80. Then it went to 50. Then it went to 40. Within the last 5 days, Solana has gone from $44 to $13 in literally 2 to 3 days. So what that says is, if another liquidity problem happens with a big platform, which the only one that's really left is not Coinbase, would be Binance, which is hard to believe that they would have a problem, because they're the ones that was about to buy out FTX. You can imagine where Solana is going. Solana might be at $1. Okay. Now, for a lot of you, and I'm going to say it again, I hope that you're listening, because this is what's hurting a lot of you. You didn't even buy reputable, strong crypto. That, again, this is a game of patience. 4, 5, 6 years from now, all these cryptos might be right back up. But certain ones are going to be far away from coming up, because, like, again, Terra Luna, that's not coming back. Another one that's not coming back. People, Twitter has a new CEO, which is Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk, by theory, because we don't know what's true from what's false nowadays on social media, is stating he's going to be using Dogecoin, which really carries no value. And if you're using it on Twitter, I don't see what will the value be to pay the $8 monthly payment that Elon Musk is about to, of course, add to the Twitter platform. Because if you guys didn't know, Twitter will now have an $8 charge to use the platform. If you guys also didn't know, the moment Elon Musk took seat, he fired thousands of workers already. As you guys heard today, Meta, which is AKA Facebook, has fired 11,000 workers effective immediately. And I've been telling you guys for a long time, when it comes to the world of economics, it's not just about what you believe it is, economics will never lie to you. The first thing companies do when they want to, of course, increase shareholder value, they get rid of you as a worker. Today on LinkedIn, many people that have worked for Facebook, or some are upset, some are actually glad that they got to experience the journey of working for Meta. At the end of the day, I want you guys to understand, your life matters. Be glad some of you are not the 11,000 that just got fired, but if you wasn't the 11,000, for some of you, your company is going to soon start firing some of the workers in your company. As you guys can see, Snapchat, Uber, Workday, Zoom, all these companies are just firing workers. Because why? In any business, the most expensive cost, the most variable cost in any business is who? The employee. So the first person any business is going to fire is you as an employee. Now, some of you, this jobs that you have and careers you have by theory, right? You need them to survive. You need them to live. What happens when it's taken away? I want to have you guys understand it, because a lot of you, the word recession doesn't scare you because you don't understand what it means. No matter how many times I talk about it in videos. Some of you, the word recession doesn't scare you because at the end of the day, you're just going to run to another low-paying job. But just understand, the way the economy is looking, numerically, there is a lot more jobs to be lost in the next 5 to 7 months. I think before we even move forward in this, the live we're doing today, if you're invested into crypto, be careful. If you're not going long-term, you're going to hurt yourself. I can't sit here and tell you what's the best crypto to buy. I mean, I like Solana. I actually like it at 13, but I wish I'm going to like it much better at $1. I like Bitcoin. But I told you guys from 2-3 years ago, I'm not buying Bitcoin until Bitcoin gets to $5,000 or less. And by the time it gets to $5,000 or less, that means Coinbase, which is the platform a lot of people buy Bitcoin on, should be probably at $10. So most likely I'm going to probably get maybe 10 pieces of Bitcoin at 5,000. Okay. And then I'm going to put the rest of my dollars into Coinbase, the stock. Because I know 4 to 6 years from now, they're going to hype up some story again and build the momentum back to have that potential of $100,000 Bitcoin to be bought. I believe Bitcoin will be at $100,000 to $150,000 in the next couple of years. Now, what story they're going to come up with to get it there? Because you guys got to really understand, who are the legends of these BS stories, okay? A lot of CEOs from banks that you've heard of, hyping up crypto. Michael Strayer from MicroStrategy. And imagine, his average price from the last time, if I'm correct, was $31,000 maybe 2 months ago per Bitcoin. So he's been down billions. You could imagine how much billions he's down as of today. People, this has been a horrific drop. Solana to go from $241 to $13 in 1 day, 2 days. Bitcoin to go from 22,000 to 15,400 in 1 day. That means the next news headline that has to do with crypto and liquidity issues, Bitcoin should be exactly where I told you guys it was going to be, which I really feel, I really would love it to be at 4,000, 3,800. That's really where I really want to, that's my sweet spot. I want to buy right there and hold for the next 4 to 6 years. Because I want you guys to understand too, for the people who had Bitcoin, when it was at 20, 30, 40, 50,000, let's even go a little bit. Let's go 60,000. And you didn't sell. For people who had Doge, when it was at these crazy numbers, or Shiba, these are cryptos that don't solve no issue. There's no utilizations, no utilization benefits for these cryptos. And you didn't sell. I had certain friends who had Shiba, Doge, up 100, 200,000, didn't sell. I know right now you're hurting. Because some of these cryptos are down literally 99%. And imagine investing $50,000 and then you look in your wallet and you only see your crypto wallet, you only see $800. That is a very uncomfortable feeling. And the reason I'm doing this live to explain to you what happened today in crypto. Binance does not want to buy the platform FTX. They were in a position yesterday believing they could save FTX. Now, the moment FTX stated the announcement that they're having liquidity issues, the whole market just tanked. Because why? People are trying to sell. But what's the issue with that, you say, right? What happens when you're trying to sell and you can't sell? What happens when your money is stuck? What happens when the platform don't even have your money? That's what happened with the people who are in FTX. Now, Binance could have saved the company. Binance stated, we don't want to save them. We're going to pull ourselves away from it because it's too aggressive. They have more problems than just liquidity problems. Because of that, once that statement came out today, I forgot what time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, the whole market just shifted. Now, I want you guys to understand, at the same time, nobody knows this answer. Is it a good time to buy crypto right now? Bitcoin was just at 21,000 and hit 15.4. That's almost a $7,000 difference. Could Bitcoin in the next 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 2 months, go back up to 20,000? If a person bought one piece of Bitcoin at 15,000, if they have the money, they just made almost $6,000 to $7,000, and $6,000 to $7,000 once it goes back up to 21,000, if it does, in the next 1 or 2 months. So that's roughly $3,500 each month just for having your money held in Bitcoin for 2 months, or even shorter. You never know. Or could there be different news next year where as the market, as the world keeps tanking and diluting, Bitcoin, you're holding it at 20,000 and it tanks to 4,000. That's going to be a real problem. And when that happens, everybody's going to go in shock and they're going to sell everything, every crypto they have, because they're scared. It's all about the problem with a lot of people. They're not real investors. The emotions are going to bother them. They're going to just sell. For a lot of you, if you're not in any crypto, especially Solana, I think it's a great time to jump into Solana at 13 bucks. At 13 bucks, what's the worst you could do in a couple months, maybe a year? Go to $1, buy more. Now your average price is what? Maybe what, $7? While some of these people who have Solana, they bought at $240, $99, $120. You could imagine how long it's going to take to get back up to that number. They might be waiting maybe 12 years. By then, a lot of people are going to sell their crypto. This is why I say crypto is a funny market. There's a lot of volatility in it. There's a lot of spreads to make money in the crypto market, but you got to be very careful. And if you don't have patience, you're going to really hurt yourself in this market. But now, with the whole market being down, in a weird way, it is an opportunity, but nobody knows how long will it take to go back up. Now, if we could pay attention to trends, normally when Bitcoin goes down like this in a 5 to 10 day stretch, it's already back up to maybe back to $20,000. Now, that doesn't mean the other cryptos are going to go back up to where they were 3-4 days ago. Bitcoin tends to do that. Sometimes even Ethereum tends to do that. Now, if Ethereum, I like one of my brothers said, Mike said, if Ethereum hit $500, he says he's going to buy a couple shares. To me, Ethereum at $500, $200, $100, or $50, that's a great entry point. I like Ethereum at $50. I would love for Ethereum to just go to 50 because people, majority of cryptos play off of Ethereum. So if there's one crypto, and I'm going to say it again, that you should be looking into, if it tanks drastically to $50 or $100, Ethereum. I'd rather buy Ethereum than Bitcoin any day. Now, some of you asked this question in my DM, what about BNB? I don't know. I think Binance is a strong company. I need to look more into their financials, but if it's public domain. But I feel more comfortable with Ethereum. I feel Ethereum is a much stronger company. I mean, it's a much stronger crypto to me. That's just my personal opinion. I feel Ethereum has more longevity than, of course, a BNB token. That's just me personally. And Genuine Artist was going on. He said, don't fall for the fake out. He might be right. It's true. Because people right now, this is not the first time Bitcoin drops in such a rapid pace. When it declines very fast. But you never know, 6 days from now, 7 days from now, 10 days from now, 30 days from now, Bitcoin's back up to 21,000. So believe it or not, when people are uncomfortable and they're selling, for some of you that's not the best when it comes to investing, there's an opportunity. The question is, are you willing to take the risk? Are you brave enough? I'm not brave enough to buy Bitcoin. I'm not interested. I'd rather, like I said, buy Bitcoin when it hit $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And I'm not even still sure if I want to buy Bitcoin or just buy Coinbase, the stock at $10 when Bitcoin finally go to $3,000 to $6,000. I remember when Bitcoin was at 68,000, I told people it was going to go to 15. People laughed at me, and now it's at 15.4. You see, this is why I say in life you got different types of people. People that's just talking and people that's actually looking at trends and doing math behind it. And if you did math behind it, it's very clear that every time Bitcoin drops at a certain percentage level. Sometimes the percentage level is anywhere from 30 to about 55.6%. And if you understand the math behind it, obviously, we know what's the next number that Bitcoin's about to drop to. And when it drops to the next number, Bitcoin should land around maybe $7,000 or $8,000. It just makes a lot of people, math don't lie to you. So the next headline that hits Bitcoin, blah, 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 liquidity, blah, 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 or blah, 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 get ready. Bitcoin's going to probably be at $7,000 to $6,000 to $5,000. And then now the question is going to be a real big question for a lot of you that's interested in crypto. Do you buy Bitcoin? Do you buy Ethereum? Do you buy Polygon, which is at a good price, which is a great asset to Ethereum, and it's way cheaper? Do you buy Solana, which has a lot of utility? And understand, Solana has a lot of other components that a lot of you may not know about. There's a whole world of Solana when you really think about it. Their ecosystem is very different, very unique in a lot of different ways. I actually like Solana. Now, I also learned too, I could say I like these things. I could say I understand these things, but also too, it's like, there's also a world of crypto that's very confusing. Because one moment, you're hearing this person invested, that person invested, that person invested. And then the next moment, the company go out of business or the crypto goes to zero. So my opinion to you, if I were you, I would be focused on buying, again, like I always say, more stable crypto. To me personally, none of them are fully stable, but I would say more of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, aka Ripple, right? I guess you could put Polygon in there too. These are the ones I would kind of focus on, because all of the other ones, I'm not saying they don't have utility, but it's like they make up a story, shoot a YouTube video, some person tell you some bullshit that don't even exist, and you don't know if the person has the crypto and they're just trying to hype up the crypto. Like, crypto world is very funny. I think these companies now, some of these kids, it seems like to me what they'll do is like go create a Shopify page, go create a forum in a platform like Discord, hype up a crypto, make up a story that doesn't exist. And then you go look at the site. Oh, wow, this is who invested. And this is, sometimes these names of individuals don't even, a whole bunch of no names that you never heard of, like people that you don't know what their background is when it comes to investing. And at the end of the day, then of course you hear the crypto disappear after it shoots up a little bit. And guess what? I think the person that really only makes money is the person who created the hype through the Discord and the hype through the YouTube video. That's why there's a lot of different guys I see. There's many different guys on YouTube that give you, by theory, knowledge on the cryptocurrency world. And if you really go back and watch their videos from a year to 3 years ago and what they were saying, where did they feel the price was going to go, 90% was wrong. 98% was wrong. And I don't want to put any names because as I'm watching some of their videos in the past, where they feel this is going, a lot of them was wrong. A lot of the cryptos they talk about don't even exist anymore. A lot of the price points they said was going to happen didn't even reach it, not even by 20%. Because I remember seeing posts that, Bitcoin going to reach $1 million. Reach 1 million without even having a stable utility in it. That don't even make sense. But I let people talk, let them do their thing. And I just, I take a step back and analyze and just do my own homework. So today I thought I'd share a lot about that. But guys, I want you guys to understand. A lot of you DM me, why are so many people getting fired? This is economics, people. Once the economy starts to get a little rough, once the dollar starts to get a little bit too expensive, once interest rates starts to increase, home prices are going to eventually go down even worse. People, if you haven't paid attention to even the repo side has increased at an all-time high. Cars are getting repoed all night long. And when do they throw these cars off their books? The end of December. So a lot of these car companies are down when you talk about stocks. Really pay attention to Carvana. Was that what, $380, $350? Where's Carvana today? $6. What's another one? Vroom, VROOM. Was that what, maybe $60, $50? Now it's at 88 cents. Economics doesn't lie to you, people, and that's just the honest truth. I actually like a stock, and I'm just watching it. I'm watching it, just slowly watching it. I'm watching Tesla, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm watching Tesla. Now I have a bet with somebody. I don't bet much, but I put a lousy 100 on it. I have a bet that Tesla is gonna drop to $50. Maximum, 50 to 80. Somebody said, no, it's not true. That's impossible. Well, let's see. Tesla stock was roughly at what, before he did the split, at what, 1,400? Did a split, dropped down to what, 350 a share, then 300 a share, then 200 a share. Now it's at 184 or 188 a share. Tesla should be at $50 in no time. Now, this is something to really pay attention to. $50 per share. Again, don't get me wrong. You might as well times that by 3, and you understand they also did another split, but we could just use this last split. So really, it'll be at $150 a share from $1,200. But then you ask yourself a question: what happens 5 to 6 years from now when all these other EV companies come in and give Tesla a run for their money, such as Ride, which is on the truck side, Nikola, which is my fan's favorite, which they again, the financials are horrible, but I believe ticker NKLA is going to do some real damage. I believe they're going to do some real damage. I just think, again, every starting point of a business and innovation has its up and down journey, which due time. But again, for a lot of you that's watching this live, if you don't have patience, a lot of what I'm talking about in this live is not going to make sense to you, because a lot of you want to be a millionaire by next weekend. And if that's what you're trying to do with the crypto market, the stock market, or the real estate market, it's not that easy. The best time for a lot of you to enjoy a great opportunity is when you start. You see, these layoffs is great indications that the economy is doing bad. Because the first thing that people want to do, business owners want to do when they want to save money, is get rid of workers, which they're doing, to put more money in their pockets and the shareholders' pockets. Now, when you're going to know that it's time to really get into this market the right way is when you hear the word recession on every station. You're hearing people jumping off buildings, hurting themselves because they lost everything. You're hearing the unemployment rate is at an all-time high. Once you're hearing these type of signals and indications, that's how you're going to know it's time for you to start investing. That's why I say for a lot of you, when it comes to the different markets we're talking about today, we focused on the crypto market, which I think has a lot more downturn to go. Crypto, I think Bitcoin, again, might come right back up to maybe 21,000 next couple of days. That's just my personal opinion. And I think, again, next year's where we're going to see a real drop. I think by midpoint next year, July, August, you're going to really see Bitcoin hit the 4,000 or 5,000 I've been patiently waiting for. And of course, once it hit it, I'll definitely go live to, of course, congratulate myself for being patient and being correct. But at this point, I think this is just a soft adjustment. And I think Bitcoin should be back to at least $18,000 within the next 2 to 3 weeks for sure. Can it go back to 21? Yeah, it has a possibility to go back to even 25. But I would say more of 18, 19 because of what's happening. Because right now, remember, Bitcoin is the value of Bitcoin is created based on the potential value. What are people willing to pay for it? What happens when you have people's emotions in the wrong position? They're scared. They're liquidating. So that really devalues Bitcoin to a whole different degree and many other cryptocurrencies. So we don't know where Bitcoin is going to be by next year. Nobody really knows. This is all an assumption based on what I believe. But I believe Bitcoin, based on how I'm looking at the chart, should be at maybe $7,000 to $8,000 or less. I really believe it's going to eventually hit 4,000 again. And from there, that's going to be a great time for a lot of you to really dive in and be smart about your money. But the question is, if you dive into cryptocurrency, whatever crypto you dive into, which I recommend diving into the ones that make a lot of logical sense, which I would say is, of course, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, XRP. I even like Solana, even though it's down at $13. I actually like it. And maybe 3 others I could say really are more stable cryptocurrencies. You have to be willing to hold for the next 5 to 7 years. If you're not willing to hold for 5 to 7 years, you're going to miss out when Bitcoin gets that hype again in the next 3 to 4 years and probably hits $100,000. Now, imagine buying Bitcoin at $4,000 and you end up buying maybe 4 pieces. You held for 4 years. It hits $100,000. You just on a what? 4 times 4, $16,000 investment. You made roughly $385,000 people. What are we talking? People really think about what you're doing. You could become very wealthy if you buy Bitcoin at the right time. To me, buying at $4,000, $3,800, what do you have to lose? The money's sitting in the bank. You're just looking at it as it's a 5-year investment. You just let it sit. And then once they build a story back up of Bitcoin, blah, 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 Bitcoin, this and that, blah, and then they start hyping up the other cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin hit 100,000, you have 4 of them, that's $400,000. Imagine having 8 of them. You're almost a millionaire just off of 4 to 5 years of being patient, buying Bitcoin at the right time. Now, some of you may say, well, forget Bitcoin, Ethereum. Why not buy Ethereum at $80 if it drops there, or $100 or $50? That's amazing. Why not? Because once it hike back up and go back up to $4,000, do you understand how much money you made buying Ethereum at $50? And 5 years later, it's at $4,000. You're getting $4,000 for every $50 you spent. You're getting literally $39.50 for every $50 you spent. You're super rich. I thought I'd share this because a lot of you were asking what happened in the cryptocurrency market. It's just a simple situation. Binance was supposed to buy FTX. They decided to pull the trigger and say, look, I'm not buying FTX. It's too dangerous. It's not just liquidity issues. There's many other issues with FTX. FTX is having liquidity issues to the point where people can't even get their money out. And a lot of wealthy investors have lost their money, including Shaq, BlackRock, Steph Curry, and many other face brand ambassadors of FTX. And imagine FTX also have the FTX Arena. So a lot of these companies are about to maybe write off their multi-million or multi-billion-dollar losses on their taxes when tax season come up. This is a real big problem. So for a lot of you that's in the world of investing and you're trying to understand what's going on with your crypto, why is everything down? It's because Binance was going to buy FTX, one of the biggest platforms in the crypto market, in comparison to, of course, Binance itself and Coinbase, and decided to pull away from it. And that shifted the whole market because people are now scared because either one, they lost their money. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with the crypto market now because of this. So be smart about your money, people. Don't be scared to invest. But again, don't invest on emotion, invest on reality. To me, I don't think it's still a good time to really buy Bitcoin right now, but you could roll a dice because at $14,000 or $15,000, wherever it's at right now, it's not a bad bet to hope that maybe in 2 months it's back to 21,000. So if you bought at 15, it goes up to 21,000, you just make $6,000. But even if you don't want to buy a whole Bitcoin, you could buy a portion for maybe $5,000 or $3,000. And as Bitcoin go back up to 21,000, most likely a lot of you are going to sell, which is smart. Get out of it, because I feel by next year Bitcoin might drop to maybe $3,000-$4,000, and that's going to be an ultimate great starting point to, of course, invest into the crypto world. And like I say, this is just financial information. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do anything you don't want to do, but this is what I would do. If cryptocurrency drops the way it needs to drop next year, to me, the top three would be, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I would actually say Polygon. I like CRO. Don't get me wrong, CRO, I'm a super fan. But now with all this liquidity issue, it's really shaking me up a little bit. Like, hold on. A lot of these companies are starting to have liquidity issues. Now, it's making me research CRO, crypto.com a little bit more to see what's going on, because I got at least $10,000 invested in CRO at, I think, maybe 50 cents. So I believe in the company, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that these CEOs are not telling us publicly to let us know what's really going on, because 2 months ago or a month ago, they were just promoting FTX like the best thing ever. And out of nowhere, now they're about to go under. And now all these people just lost their money within days. I'm assuming they probably might file bankruptcy and try to see if they can restructure their debt and try to see how could they pay some of the people off. And I understand, for a lot of you that don't understand how bankruptcy works, usually they pay the preferred people first. So that would mean like the Black Rocks and the people who put real money behind them, soft banks, before they pay a person who put $300. They ain't got time for that. But I just thought I'd share that with you. This is your boy Bob from MentorMe.com. I want you guys to have a great evening. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about another great topic. Make sure you tune in. Be smart. Don't be scared to invest. Remember, the goal of life is creating wealth while living. That's why I'm always giving you this information, no matter what information comes out. I know a lot of you have jobs, but while you have your job, be smart, create other streams of income, because as you can see, a lot of companies are firing workers left to right, and a lot of people are struggling right now. So you can imagine what's going to happen next year as the market gets worse, the world gets worse. Tomorrow's a very important report. Like I said, 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. The CPI report, Consumer Price Index report, is about to come out. People, this is going to make a game changer to the market. It could hurt the market. It also could be the best thing that hit the market, based on how people interpret the information that comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. This is Will Bob from MentorMe.com. Be smart, invest, never stop investing. Understand that you got to retire one day, and that retirement is not always 59 and a half. You can retire earlier if you would like, but the only way to retire, you have to invest. Investing is a new saving. Mentor Me.